This is Canaan, Maine. Hells Angels compound. Reconnaissance.
Look how freaked out they are.
Right prior to this part of the video, this Canaan, Maine Hells Angels thug came and took my license plate number. And about 10 minutes later, they show up, and this skippity-doo-dah guy gets out with a little piece of paper in his hand. And what this is that they have me in their own personal stalking database. Both Massachusetts and Maine Hells Angels have me in their personal stalking database. So this is going to be a big guy. He's higher up. And you can see that they know that this is not good. You can see it on their faces. This is really not good. This goon must be lower on the totem pole because he's not allowed to hear the information. He actually moves away. He's by himself. So that goon moved away from this guy, who must be higher on the totem pole, because the information that he's about to receive is confidential. So apparently I'm confidential information to the Hells Angels criminal organization, who's into, abductions, hits, gang rapes, murders, drugs, gun running. I mean, they're into human trafficking. Okay, so what this tells me is that this bigwig starts to tell him who I am, and you can watch the response on his face, because that's why they took my license plate number. He's looking right at me. This guy over here is telling him who I am. I don't know them. They should not know me. They should not be able to run my license plate number and identify me unless I'm in some kind of their personal owned stalking database. This is not okay. Watch his response when he finds out that it's me. The only reason why I'm going to be in their stalking database is as a victim. He's putting his head down. He's like, this is going to be a huge headache because I found him. This is going to be a big headache. That I show up in front of their compound. Yep, that's right. It's going to be a very big headache. He is worried. He is very worried about this. And they should be worried. And today, this is December 2022, I am still being stalked by the Hells Angels organization, by Hells Angels members, and by other gang members. I am still being stalked. I moved, and they found me. They are still stalking me. I would like to sue the Hells Angels. That's what I want to do. I want to sue their organization. And in fact, I think there should be a class action lawsuit against the Hells Angels. I want to sue them. $1 million criminal organization has me in their own personal stalking database. Massachusetts Hells Angels and Maine Hells Angels. And boy, are they worried about it. So worried about it that this guy who's higher up on the totem pole went and hid behind a truck because now he's scared of me. And when I took this video, what I found is that when I reviewed it when I got home, is that it appears that there's a cop car in their compound that was there prior to me arriving. See, that looks like a cop car. It does. It does. It just looks like a cop car. Cops are hanging out with the Hells Angels in Canaan, Maine. So, with the Hells Angels in Canaan, Maine. So, what was I a victim of? Well, there's a number of stalkers. I was being stalked, and I had been reporting being stalked. At stores, I was being stalked by the same men. I was being stalked by this neighbor. This happens to be, was identified as Jim Talbot. He was a stalking neighbor, and he's also well known. He's known as a gang member in the Confederate level. So the hierarchy for the gang is like the Hells Angels is at the top, Harley's underneath, and it's like Confederate type, and then it's like neutral gang members, and the neutral gang members are like usually younger from what I've seen. And so what you're looking at on this video is this is real, true video from my Arlo camera. And we sharpened, this video has been sharpened. The original video, the raw video, I sent out to a professional, and we sharpened it. And what we did, and the reason for it, is because what you're seeing here is actually a black satanic mirror. We've been able to identify the object as a black satanic mirror. And the images in that mirror throughout the videos show the crime of what they did. And I didn't want the public to have that because it's so sensitive, and it's also to protect the victims, which also in some way protects me as well. But they broke in, they drugged me while I was sleeping. I believe that they're using an aerosol drug, and they sprayed it through. I sleep next to a window that's open just a couple inches because I like to have the fresh air come in at night. And I believe that they sprayed it through that opening, and that was right next to my bed, the window, and they drugged me while I was sleeping. And the reason why I say spray is because I have other videos not posted yet where there's somebody coming around my house, and you can hear on the video, the Arlo camera, you can hear something being sprayed. You can actually hear it like a spray bottle. But this was identified as Jim Talbot. He's in the back of a pickup truck. He's 8 foot high. This is my garage roof right here. They have a video camera pointed at the window. There's also images where they have a selfie stick where they're videotaping it, and they drugged me while I was sleeping. The images show that they attacked me, they gang raped me, and they also attacked my pets. The video that they took will also show who's involved, which will include John's, and that video, the videos that these predators took are extremely important for authorities to get a hold of, and I have reported to them who has them. And you can see on my YouTube page the other videos if you want to go check those out. I show this to people, but this is this is a true video. This is not a joke. This is actually real. So what we did is we took the video and I sent it out back out to a professional, and we also had it changed into green night vision. And this actually, a lot of the images on the mirror, they just kind of pop out now because it's a mirror. And I'm going to walk through that in a moment. Here is an example of how to take the image, that we take the image right off the mirror. And you go through that, like every frame of the video, there's also an image in the mirror. And in this particular image, this is a young man and he's attacking my cat. He's got my cat. See, some of them you just put them through a filter and they just pop right out. You can see everything that's going on. So what he's doing here, he's right in front of my bedroom window. He's not far from my bedroom window. He's really close to it. The yellow cameras make things look a little further away. So if we reconstruct the images from the mirror, it proves that it's actually a mirror. So this is the actual window that he's standing in front of. This is the garage roof. Here's the garage roof. See? There's the Arlo camera that I usually keep there. Now they could have knocked it down. They could have covered it up. They could have moved it, but they left it right there in front of them. They're so confident that the police would not get involved. They actually left me these videos because they wanted me to see what they did to me the next morning. They wanted me to figure it out. If you take the images right from the mirror, so the image came from the mirror, and you take a location on the picture, like say if we take the location of my cat's paw right here, which is pointing towards the roof, and then you reconstruct it because the images are coming right from my bedroom window. He's standing right in front of my bed. This is pointed at my bedroom window. You have to flip the image so the paw is going towards the roof, the garage roof. So in this image, the paw is going towards the garage roof. In order for it to be reconstructed, you have to flip it. So the paw is going towards the garage roof. And when you do that, that's called a horizontal reversal. And the only object that does a horizontal reversal is a mirror. So this turns out that this is a black satanic mirror. And there are many satanic indications in this game, and one I'll point out is that the Hell's Angels actually means Satan's demons. That's what it means. And what they're doing with the black satanic mirror here is they're scrying to Satan. They're trying to they think that they're communicating to Satan through a black satanic mirror, and they're scrying or communicating the crime, that their horrific crime that they're committing to Satan in a ritual, a worshiping ritual. I moved, and the Hell's Angels are still stalking me, and they're gang members that are still stalking me that I have them on video. I won't post the videos publicly because I don't want people to know my location. But as of today, this is 2022, I'm still being stalked by the Hell's Angels and by other gang members that are involved. This is a video from 2019, right by my house. I was taking a walk that day.
I wasn't filming you at all until you started telling me to keep walking. Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? I'm walking by. I didn't hold this camera up at you at all until you started telling me to keep walking. It's a public road. Go for it. I'm...
That is Denise Smith's place, where, as I learned, those are the neutral gang members. But that particular member happened to look and sound and act exactly like this one in 2021.
Away from my vehicle right now. Right now. Would you say he's threatening me? You threatening me?
there you go. I have now just placed Hell's Angels member as one of the gang members, and I did see that Hell's Angels motorcycles in the summertime going up to Denise Smith's place, but that's right next to my house. So not only do we have the Hell's Angels, but we also have the neutral gang members. I want to point this out too. I want to show this to people. Check this out. You see these? Those are those little campers. They're living in the little campers along. These are like the neutral gang members. And then they're moving around to live with other gang members. And they kind of stay off grid. And they're living in those little campers. Now at Denise Smith's place, this is Denise Smith, I started to figure out, you know, the gang indications, and started to recognize that, like, this kid here, that's Denise Smith's place. I saw that kid. I used to have to go over there a number of times telling her to get her horses off my property. The animal abuse was horrific at her property, and finally they came down and they took all the horses from her. And we're talking horses coming out of there looking like skeletons. It was, the animal abuse was filthy, disgusting. So at one point I started to confront Denise about this gang and what they've done, because I started to realize they're involved in this. In here in this text message, I got Denise's phone number, and I texted her and I was asking her what their names are. So I'm asking her what those gang members, their names are. And her response is their gang symbol that I had recognized as their gang symbol at the time. But it wasn't until much later, months and months later, that I had learned it is actually one of the Smiley face killer gang symbols. And I replied to her, "Oh no, you're gonna hurt me with your scum gang," because we found that symbol was on her in the back of her barn, and it was like graffiti on the wall. So I had started to recognize that as a gang symbol. When it was months later, I found this online, and this was posted by, or it says, courtesy of Kevin Gannon and Anthony Duarte. I'm not sure if they posted it, but when I saw this, that's when things started to click. And I was very, very happy to go back and get this text message and post it publicly, because what she's saying now is, when I'm asking her what these gang members, their names are, she's now realizing she's telling me what their name is. They're the Smiley face killers. They're the Smiley face gangs, and I'm convinced of it. Because now I knew it was a gang. We have here in Clinton, we call them the Clinton Main Highway Rapist. And he takes women off the road and he rapes them. So we have other women gone missing from their homes. We have Tina is still missing in Skowhegan, which is also very close by. 2 towns over, Augusta 2 towns over, well, 3 towns. We have Sanford, she was disorientated and then found in the woods. And then Elizabeth, we have Rihanna, she's from Benton, that's a couple towns over from me when I was living in Clinton. And what I noticed about Rihanna's case is that she was found, note where she was found on Wood Road. And I don't think that that's a coincidence. And then there are some other ones that had gone missing and then found in the woods. And then I would encourage people to go read this. This man did a lot of work on documenting young men who have gone missing in Portland, Maine. Weeks or months later, they were found in the water. And what I started to put together was that if you look at Central Maine and you look at all these women gone missing, and then you look at, you know, the Clinton Maine highway rapist, and then you start taking in all the stalkers and what they did to me, and then you start taking into that looking at that, like the Hells Angels is in Canaan, Maine, which is Central Maine. All of this is going on around the Hells Angels compound in Canaan, Maine. It's kind of like in the middle. And then if you look with these men that have gone missing in Portland, Maine, there is a Hells Angels compound in Portland, Maine. And these men were young men that went missing from bars. And they went missing for some weeks, others months, and they were later found in water in the Portland, Maine area. So now what I'm noticing is clusters of people are going missing around, which is consistent with the Hells Angels compound. So I'm curious to know, like for instance in Massachusetts and New York, where men have gone missing in similar cases like this, where are the Hells Angels compounds located in those states, and are they in the vicinity of these missing people, clusters of missing people? I started exposing my case in 2019, and what I also noticed is that these clusters of people going missing has stopped here in Maine, as far as I can tell right now. And I'm curious to know if these clusters of people gone missing in other states, such as Massachusetts and New York, has also stopped. And so what was I a victim of? What I would like to also say is that my heart goes out to these victims, and my heart goes out to their families. And I hope that I can continue to stop these clusters from starting up again. So here is what we learn from some of these videos and the images, is that they're looking into the black satanic mirror, that they're smiling also in the black satanic mirror. So this is where my theory is coming from, hence the smiley face killers. They smile into the black satanic mirror while they're committing horrific crimes, communicating with Satan. And the thing is I'm not very religious. I don't attend church. But the Hells Angels means Satan's demons. And my theory on this is that these younger neutral gang members that are throughout the organization have a level of immaturity that they're the ones that are possibly dumping the bodies, and they're leaving because they're immature, they're leaving their calling card a smiley face, just like in the back of Denise's barn was up on the wall, where it was a drawing of the same symbol. It's graffiti. It's an immature graffiti that I think that's my theory on it, is that these younger ones that are the neutral gang members are the ones dumping the bodies, and then they left a calling card for me. That's what it looks like on where I moved. So I found this on the building that I moved at. On my Facebook page, Stop Maine Predators, and my Twitter page, I put additional images that I took off from the mirror, and those have been posted on those pages. So if you wanted to see more that was found in the video or in the videos, those still pictures and images are on those social media platforms. I had dozens of videos of them trying to break into my house. I had barricaded the windows and the doors and jammed the windows with, with pieces of wood and pieces of metal. What you're seeing here is there's a man trying to climb to my second floor, and he's looking through my curtains, and he's wearing night vision goggles on his eyes. That's what you're looking at, and that's what you're going to see. And towards the end of the video, you're going to see him leave, and it's very evident that that's someone there. They're climbing to the second floor. I think they're on. They might be standing on another predator's shoulders. But at the end of the video, you'll see that he moves. So this is the kitchen and the dining room, and he's looking through that curtain. And they're wearing black skin suits, and they're using a lot of camouflage. So on this night, I had gone and ran into my safe room, and this is my safe room. So I'm in the bathroom with the door shut and jammed, and it sounded like somebody was trying to break in, come through the bottom window, one of the windows downstairs. So I ran into my safe room. All my cameras are going off, and this is just what one of the cameras picked up. So in this video, this is my kitchen, this is second floor of another predator, and they're climbing. So I started yelling at them because I really thought that they were coming in from they were getting in from downstairs, and I thought they were in the house downstairs. See? He left. So he was right there. There he is. And there's where he got down. He's wearing night vision goggles. I have dozens of videos of attempted break-ins into my house, and this was on 4/19/2020. I have seen on my videos where they use military tactics, and like they drop to the ground, and they're crawling on the ground up to my house. I have videos where someone's trying to spray this drug into the back of my air conditioner that literally could go through my entire house and knock a whole family out. I have a couple other videos where somebody is using a whip to try and knock the camera down on the side of my basketball court, and that was in October of 2021, and there were several around my house that night trying to get in. I have seen them wearing looks like skin suits, black skin suits, jumping to the roof of my garage to try to get over to one of the windows of the house. The level of skill that they have. I also had a number of nights where it sounded like something very, very loud was hitting my house, and it was so loud in the middle of the night it would make you want to like get up and go outside to look to see what it was. And one time I almost did, and I stopped myself from doing it because I realized, and I said, I think that this is a ruse. Wait till the morning to see what it is. I checked the windows, made sure everything else was okay, but it was hitting my garage or hitting my front door. And then what I started to realize is because I have the other videos where you can actually hear like they're spraying something on my property, that if there's pepper spray that can spray 10-15 feet away. So if they're that far away from the house and they spraying outside my front door, and they hit my house with something as a ruse to try and draw me outside, I'm going to walk right into that mist. And I believe that they're using some type of GHB mixed with something else. And if I breathe that in, if I walk outside my house and that's there and I breathe that in, the first symptoms and effects that it's going to have is obviously my throat and my vocal cords, and you're not even going to be able to scream for help. So this is very, very serious. I have many videos on, and they are, I believe, convinced these are the smiley face killers. They are using many different tactics. They have many rules. I've learned their rules. They have many skills. I've learned what their skills are, and I also know where they're getting their skills from. It's very scary how many women and people are missing from their homes. I have many more videos and pictures of attempted break-ins. And there he's gone. This is where I lived. This is me here. And over here was Denise Smith's place. Hells Angels and the neutral gang members. And if you look, you can actually see that it looks like a worn, path right down to my house. Looks like a path right to my house. If you go to Google Earth, you can see it. It comes down this way. Actually comes more out back here. I do believe that there are a couple of gang members in this criminal organization that do have Leah Reynolds, and they have Tina Staggart, and I believe that they are alive. I have on video a felon that is connected to the very same gang member that I'm talking about here, who says, quote unquote, that he says Ayla's name at least once a week. They would be very smart to let him go. And don't you dare this organization touch one more person in the state of Maine. Don't you dare. And if I think for a moment that one person that more goes missing in this state of Maine, and I think it's related to your smiley face killing gang organization, I'm going to be so up in your fucking faces. You have no goddamn idea what I'm capable of doing, and anything I do is legal. If you would like to follow the destruction of the Hells Angels and the Smiley Face Killers, click like and subscribe. It has been my pleasure to bring this documentary to you. And by subscribing, you will help support my channel and help me support and update to my computer and software programs so that I can make better videos in the future. This documentary has been brought to you by the victim, who is exposing the Hells Angels and the Smiley Face Killers gang organization, and who's losing them millions and millions of dollars, and will continue to lose them millions and millions of dollars. Rightfully so.
And other motorcycle gangs.
They're a criminal organization. That's how they operate. They're involved in sex trafficking, extortion, methamphetamine deliveries, gun trafficking, you name it.
The raids come at a time when law